I'm anti-social, I don't socialize. My anxiety and my emotions high. Bipolar, yet still one of the most polarized rappers. When I drop the comments, it's all emoji-fied.
So that Unicron, I'll specify that Unicron. We're not going to do again, and I'd love actually to see your comments on and your thoughts on if we were to do another Unicron. I mean, honestly, I'll probably say when we do another Unicron.
Good afternoon, family. It's your buddy, the 14th Prime, and today, oh man, today, what a day! What a day! This is today's rant, but with some backup things that maybe went over your head. One thing in particular that I want to talk about, and it's this guy. Or these guys. So, what did we learn today?
On if we were to do another Unicron, I mean, honestly, I'll probably say when we do another Unicron, like what you guys would be interested in, what you all would be interested in as far as like if we were ever do him and like, you know, crossing the streams here a little bit, talking about 86, but would you guys like a Unicron that's like a Titan scale or even a Commander scale or even a Leader scale just to have something for the collection?
What did we learn? The question is still out as to how us consumers, us fans, want them to do Unicron again. Now, it was finally stated, for the record, it was shut down. The rumor is no longer a rumor. It is an absolute fact. No, they are not going to do a Haslab Unicron of this stature, of this mold again. It's a wrap. It's over with. Could we possibly get an Armada Unicron in the future? Yes. Could we get a TF Prime Unicron in the future? Yes. Those are very possible. This is not possible. And that's what they said. Roll the footage.
About re-releasing that one, which we're not going to do. Like, we've been pretty consistent on the Haslabs. We want to make continue to be special. So that Unicron, I'll specify that Unicron, we're not going to do again. And I'd love to.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, he asked the question. He said, "How would y'all like us to do it? Titan, Commander." That's all we got. You know what I mean? That was our options. And, you know, I'm thinking back to that SDCC or MCM London interview where he said, well, you know, Unicron comes in many different forms. I had no idea at that moment that he was referring to the Unicron soldier. And this next Unicron that they're waiting for us to tell them what to do with. So this is what I want to ask y'all. I understand this is out of the question unless you go to eBay and drop the cake on it. But what if they did do a Titan? Would that make y'all happy? Would that appease you? Would that fill that void in you for the need to have a Unicron? Which I would have thought that they would have planned this out when they planned out doing the 13 primes. Only because, like, you would have thought that Primus and Unicron would have been first things in the works, and then the rest of them. But as we saw with, like, Nexus, obviously some things weren't thought of. Unicron Soldier, in my opinion, still should have been done with Liege Maximo, but I think that they thought that alt mode was not going to be able to pull it off. If Unicron was a flying ship, which he wasn't, I get it. I get why they chose Megatronus now, because he was a tank. And the Armada toy was a regular size figure that turned into a crab tank. I get that. I just think in Robot, I think they should have did a partial of Liege and Megatronus together, and that probably would have worked out better. Like the top up, use Liege. Bottom down and the tank parts, Megatronus. That probably would have been way better. Oh, wait, real quick. Shout out to Todd Bailey. Please, ladies and gentlemen, go and support this man, his Kickstarter for More Than Meets the Voice, Transformers documentary. You never know, some of your favorite YouTubers might pop up in it. But yeah, go. He's almost there. He's got, you know, a lot of, I can't say all the names. I can tell you Vince DiCola. And because of the private conversations I've had with this gentleman, I can tell you there's a lot of people, big names, that have agreed to talk to him. But yeah, check him out. please support this movie. Please, if you're a fan, if you're my age, young age, any age, if you got an account, go put some money on the Kickstarter. Get this going. This man has won 2 Emmys. He's legitimate. Okay, back to it. Now, with him saying that you know, this Unicron, because he specifically made sure to emphasize that Unicron would not be done. Not to say they wouldn't do another one. So we're still looking at, okay, let's just hypothetically say next year's Haslab is Primus, right? And then the year after that, it'll be something crazy, and then something else, and then something else. So we're looking at like 2029, 2030, 2030.
That's
2030 before we actually could see a different iteration of Unicron, which would be cool. You know what I mean? And just personally speaking, as for me, my grail, my end all, besides G1 Fort Max, was this guy. So like, as for me, I'm out the game. I don't have a dog in the fight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good. Armada was cool until he showed up. And then this went on the shelf to sit until my great-great-great-great-grandkid sells it for millions of dollars way after I'm gone. So I'm just like, what do y'all think? Would y'all want a Titan size Unicron to go with like your toys or whatever? Or what if they did the like Star Optimus size? And see, let me tell you what my problem with that would be, is that he would be Star Optimus size, or that he would be Titan size. He'd be Metroplex or Fort Max size. That would be my problem. Like, that's my problem with the new Metroplex that they just showed off, is that the new Metroplex, and not Hasbro, but it's a third-party company, O1 Studio Cell, the people that made the bootleg Unicron in many different colors and the glow-in-the-dark version. My problem with that, even though that Metroplex looks awesome, the fact is Metroplex is bigger than their Unicron. That's not how it went. That's not how it went. And I get it, you know, well, the scale is up and down or whatever. This is still the biggest toy that they've made. So, and the planet mode is still, it's 33 inches. From here to there is 33 inches. Planet mode, 33 inches. So, it's big enough. It takes up enough room. But then Mark had brought up the fact that, hey, listen, you know, a lot of people don't have that much room on their shelves to do another Haslab of that size. And I get that too. Not everybody has a room, basement, attic, whatever. I get it. And so, yeah, if I didn't have either of these, would I buy the Unicron Soldier to have one? Probably not. Just because in my head, Unicron is a planet, Megatron is a gun, Optimus is a truck. You know what I mean? Like, there's those few exceptions here and there. But for the most, in my 8-year-old head, Unicron is a planet. And that's the only way, you know what I mean, that I could do that. Now, I know a lot of y'all say, wait, 14th Prime, you just showed off Studio Series Megatron. That was a gift, and I love it. I love it to death. Shout out to you, homeboy. Love you to death for sending it to me. But first thing I did was made a fan-made gun mode out of it. I'm just saying, like, and that's the past. I'm talking about today. If we were to get a Primus next year, which I'm 9.9% sure that is the Haslab to finish off the Age of the Primes. That's the only thing they could do to make up for the Nexuses and the shortages of Onyx and the price hikes. And why did Safeguard not come with Vector Prime? Why did Safeguard not come with him? Why did Red Alert get the Armada mini compact, but there is no Age of the Primes mini compact? Because he needs Safeguard. That's just how I feel. But I'm going to customize one of my mini cons that are over on my bonus shelf. I have a shelf of things that don't go, or like they're outdated or whatever. And so they turn out to be repaints. I end up just customizing them to be other people or whatever. I'm going to get him a Safeguard. Now, as for everything else that was shown off today, I'm glad that Swindle finally was shown off. I am so glad that Swindle was shown off. Like, what else could they have done? And they gave us a weird excuse as to why we just now are. They were like, we showed him off in the beginning of the year, and then we pulled back, you know, and put him at the end just to make that time window. And they kept reiterating that, you know, Vortex came out in December, and somebody else that came out, you know, in November of last year. So as long as they got it within that 1 year window, everything would be complete. Okay, cool. Still, I mean, again, okay, and this is gonna put salt in the wound, but where was Onslaught? Like, where's I mean, I know Onslaught's been up for pre-order. It still says August the 1st, so forth and so on. Yet many other people have him. There's quite a few. I've seen the posts on Facebook. I've seen the posts everywhere. There's a lot of people that do have Onslaught. Now, mind you, yes, they don't live in the USA, and yes, they did show the box. But my point is, you know what I mean? Like, that was my only gripe. Now, and wait. The gem crossover. How do you do a gem crossover and not use a female? Like, y'all, they could have done like Green Light Lancer and Alita 1 or Arcee and did it as a 3-pack, painted as the 3 girls in Gem the Holograms. Everybody would have been happy. You know what I mean? I get why you use Blaster because it's music. But Blaster in pink with 3 cassettes named, I mean, it just, no. At first, my first reaction was, oh, this is cool. I love Gem. Wait, that's Blaster. You know what I mean? It's kind of like thinking that you're going to watch, you know, Cinderella and then RuPaul pop out. You know what I mean? Like, no, wait, something ain't right. You know what I mean? Like, I would have thought that the Gem crossover would have involved female Autobots because we have them. It's not like we don't. They could have even used KSR Widow, would have worked. She has hair. You know what I mean? They could have repainted her in the pink and everybody would have been happy. You know what I mean? Well, I would have, but whatever. A lot of other people thought it was the greatest thing ever. And I understand the whole KISS players and how they're bringing in the KISS players with this, you know, it's a good way to bring in the KISS players. I get it, but I don't think this should have been a Gem crossover just because you put the star on there. Somebody in the comments said they should have used Arcee and given you Teletran 1 to be Synergy. Perfect idea. That would have been spot on because Synergy was the whole. Yeah, don't hate. I watched Gem. I did. I watched Gem, and as a kid, I dated her for like 3 weeks. But in my mind, but Synergy as Teletran 1 as Synergy, that would have been phenomenal. Just phenomenal. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm that excited about a thought that's never going to happen. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, let me know down in the comments, what do you think they fumbled with today? And how do you feel about this Unicron? What would you rather prefer to see in 2030, 2031, 2032 when they get around to it? But yeah, I mean, other than that, your best bet is to get your money together and hop on eBay and get them now before they start hitting $4,000 if this is what you want. I still love him to death. He is still my favorite villain of all time. He's still my favorite toy in here. Period. He's due for a transform, but like I said, ever since I've had him, I usually do it on like Wednesdays, Thursdays, and then like Sunday afternoons. So I got a lot going on this weekend. I got a gender reveal party. Yeah, I'm about to be a granddaddy again. Yes. So, but yeah, he's going to be transformed soon. I am going to start putting him back in a whole lot of shorts. I made a bunch of promises when I first got him, and I was going to, but then, you know, life took over. And I became grandfather and grandfather again and other stuff, whatever. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know down in the comments, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Would you like this in a Titan size in 2030? And do you think that they will figure out a way to get us if they did the Unicron soldier, do you think they're going to do a Primus soldier? Because I thought that they would use the ball, the little soccer ball, but everybody was telling me, nah, if you bought that, like that ball is so little, and that really would not work. At the same time, I wouldn't put it past them, because they going to get their money out of that ball if nobody buys it. It's your buddy, the 14th Prime. Let me know down in the comments what you want. Go check out TF Berserker, support the movie, get the movie going, and then tell them you want your boy in the movie.